Midwestern Cowboy. This is Iron Horse. Thanks for watching. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I'm on my way to work. It's pretty chilly today. It's about 38 degrees, but there's really no wind. You can see all these wind turbines. They're barely running, and the sun's shining. It's supposed to rain later on today. We've had a lot of rain, so I haven't ridden much. So I took the opportunity this morning to go ahead and ride the motorcycle to work. I called in, said I'm going to be a little bit late, so that way I have sunlight to ride in. And, you know, if it rains on the way home, I figure I can, as long as I can get to work dry, hey, I can get home wet. So, but we'll have to see. I don't know about cold and wet. Well, I've got 804 miles on this motorcycle by now. I've already laid it down once on the gravel. Did a video about that. I was trying to be, you know, an off-roader, and I'm not real experienced with that. I did some of that when I was younger. But one of the things that is true is that with this Versys is that the street tires, the stock tires that come with the motorcycle are really 100% touring tires. They're not really designed for off-road. And I neglected that. I pushed it too hard and too fast, and the bike went down. Really came out of it, though, okay, without really any damage to the motorcycle. The rear pannier bag took a little bit. The crash bars really did their job, and I think that was impressive. Had my daughter on the back of the bike with me when we laid it down, and she wasn't hurt at all. I was really glad for that. I did hyperextend my right knee just a little bit, and you know, so I got a little bit of an injury. I didn't completely come out of that wreck injury free, so I've been limping around for now a couple of weeks. It's getting better every day, but you know, that was a good wake-up call. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
You sure you're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And that kind of brings up a subject that I wanted to talk a little bit about a cultural transformation that I'm going through from being a Harley rider to being an adventure bike rider. And there are things that, you know, I never really even thought of. Isn't that funny? I mean, you know, that's why I say cultural, because cultural norms are things that just exist in a society, in a community, and nobody really ever, you know, thinks about it. They just exist. They're just there, and they sort of rule and govern the community. And you know, one of those norms for me is you know, the fact that I thought that I was really being safe as a Harley rider by wearing a helmet. But what's interesting about that is I mentioned that is, you know, I was convinced I was doing the right thing, wearing a helmet. And but what I found out, though, is, you know, after we wrecked the motorcycle on the gravel road the other day, a lot of the feedback that I got and comments from people, and I think rightly so, was you know, kind of like, hey, you need to get some riding gear. And you know, that was something that I didn't really think about. I was, you know, I had a helmet on and long jeans and long sleeves. Well, the day we wrecked, I had a short sleeve shirt on. I was really squidding that day. And so, you know, I thought I was doing the right thing, just helmet only and all of that. But really after the video, the feedback that I got was, that really you ought to be wearing some things that give you better protection. And I think as I talked about this as a cultural transformation, I think that's the right term, because I think a lot of times street bikes, I'm not knocking Harley riders, because heck, I was one, but that genre of motorcycle is really intended for street use, and the roads are dangerous. You ought to be wearing your gear, but I think most people sort of think, well, I'm going to go for a cruise. But adventure bikes and dual sport bikes, and even sport bikes probably too, that genre of motorcycle is the type that you might push harder. You might do some cornering and some speeding and some some more dangerous types of things, wheelies, and then even pushing it hard off-road like I did. And so if that's the type of motorcycle you're going to ride, and it's intended to have a little more capability for more than just cruising around the street, well, you ought to really think about safety gear. And so I'm really looking at making that investment, and having some good leathers with padding in them, and knee pads, a back brace, shoulder pads, elbow pads, some good gloves with some shielding. All of that stuff I think would go a long way to helping to protect myself in the event of another crash. So, like I said, cultural transformation. I'm changing from a Harley rider to an adventure bike rider, and that's making me think about not being such a squitter anymore. I am wearing, I guess, my Harley stuff right now, but it's a vinyl jacket. It doesn't have a lot of skid protection. Leather gloves, which, better than nothing. But really need something with some protection, skid protection, and then also pads. So I'll keep you in the loop on what I decide to do there. I also would, take suggestions. I'm kind of new at this, so, if anybody out there, I'm sure lots of folks that watch these videos and subscribe to, adventure bike type channels have some good suggestions. And, I'd be interested in hearing, budget ideas, as well as, everything, top of the line stuff to budget stuff. I just don't really know a lot about riding gear and what's available out there and what's recommended. So, really could use your tips. Please feel free to give me some suggestions. Well, I'm almost to work now. Pulling into the factory. Pulling in late. In fact, the whole parking lot's pretty filled up already. Everybody's here working, and I'm rolling in late. That's all right. They let us motorcycles park right up front here, so we've got our own little space. Midwestern Cowboy, this is Iron Horse. Thanks for watching.